So I find myself in possession of a Fuji Instax Mini 9 camera. I've actually had this camera for about a year, though it's mostly been in storage or up on a shelf. I've been thinking about picking up some Instax Mini film for a little while now, though I just kept walking away without actually making the purchase. After recently having been gifted an old Polaroid Onestep camera with some film still in it for my birthday, I decided now was a good time to grab some Instax film and use it as a bit of practice before diving in with the more expensive Polaroid film. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the camera itself, talk about some of the misconceptions about Instax and instant film, and shoot my first pack of film. First thing that I would like to talk about before getting into anything, neither this camera nor the films it uses are Polaroids. While watching some videos for research, I noticed most people calling Instax prints Polaroids. But this is the same as people calling all tissues Kleenex and all MP3 players iPods. Instax is a camera line made by Fujifilm that uses its own format of instant film, Instax Mini Film in this case. Yes, Polaroids are instant film, but not all instant film are Polaroids. With that out of the way, I'm going to quickly go over the hardware in case you're not familiar with Instax Mini cameras. They are made completely of plastic, and while it does feel and look a little like a toy, it doesn't feel cheap. Loading film is as easy as opening the film door and lining up the yellow tab to the mark inside the back. You can see the yellow mark with the door closed to let you know that there is a pack inserted. The first shot will eject the plastic protective film. As you can see by the small film counter window on the back, I have actually already taken 3 photos, showing 7 more remaining. When this window shows the letter S, it's safe to open the film door without exposing any film. The top right is where you will find the optical viewfinder. I'm going to come back to this. The shutter button is on the front, along with a flash and the light sensor. Pressing the little button on the bottom will both extend the lens and turn on the camera ready to shoot. Since I don't have the manual with my camera, I was a little confused about the dial around the lens at first, so I will explain here. The orange light is the exposure suggestion from the light sensor. It won't automatically change that for you though. It's up to you to turn the dial to match the approximated brightness level to correctly expose each photo. The dial closes down the aperture, with shutter speed always being locked to 1/60th of a second on the Mini 9. The high key mode is even more open than the indoor setting, brightening exposure by about 2/3 of a stop. Though the camera won't ever suggest high key mode, it should be safe to use whenever indoor mode is suggested and in any low light situations. The lens has a focal length of 60mm, but due to the larger size of the mini film, this works out to be a similar field of view to a 35mm lens on 35mm film, or a full frame camera. This model also has fixed focus of about 0.6 meters to infinity, though a close focus lens is included for subjects between 35 to 50 centimeters. Since this is my first time using an instant film camera, I accepted that my first pack was going to be kind of a throwaway pack, and that I was going to use these shots to experiment with the limitations of both the camera and the instant film. The first photo that I took was of my cat Gizmo. The room was lit by a window from behind, and I used indoor mode, and though I do like the photo, it did turn out too dark. The next 2 photos were in direct midday sun, shot using the brightest setting. The first one of a bullfrog turned out pretty good. The next one of the osprey nest on a power line captured the color in the sky nicely, but did overexpose the power pole, showing this day was just too bright. This time I've taken the camera out on a day with quite a bit of cloud cover with the goal of taking a few more photos. We've been having a bit of a heat wave for the past few days, but it did rain again. So I thought I would try to find some nice mushrooms to take a photo of. And this would be the good test of the close-up lens as well. I'm going to come back to the viewfinder now as well. What you see in the viewfinder is not the same as the lens sees. You will need to remember to correct for parallax error, where the lens viewfinder aren't correctly aligned. This is more pronounced the closer your subject is, so remember to aim a little to the top right of where you'd actually like the center of your photo to be. Since I just got one of my photos printed out right now, it's the perfect time to talk about the next misconception that I see so often. You do not need to shake the photo. That can actually damage it. When photos print out, the best thing to do is either just leave them face down or put them in a pocket or other dark place for a few minutes until they fully develop. This one's going to be going in my bag. So one of the other things that I wanted to test out here, I thought it would be a fun idea to do a video about nature photography on Instax. Probably do one on mushrooms as well, but I wanted to see how well this works taking like a landscape photo. So I've got this little bridge here that I'm going to take a picture of. Probably can't see through the viewfinder. Try to get a picture something like that, and I think that'll be pretty good. So let's do that. So I actually just found these tiny little mushrooms on this branch, and I think I'm going to give the close-up lens one more shot because I actually really like how this looks. I want to see how that will turn out. And the last thing that I actually wanted to try was simply just a selfie, because I'm sure that this is probably what this camera is going to be used for the most. So, says on indoor mode again. I'm going to use the selfie mirror right on the front to line everything up. Make sure I look good. And there. We'll see how that one turns out. The next day, I finished shooting the remaining 3 photos. Now that I've finished off my first pack of film in this camera, I'm going to review the photos I took and see what I can take away from this to make my next pack better. This mushroom was taken using the high key mode and close-up lens, and actually turned out really nice, other than the fact I was a little close and missed focus. This bridge scene is probably the worst of the photos that I took. The cloudy day and tree cover was just too dark for the camera. Since the background was further away for this one, only the log with the mushrooms was exposed from being within range of the flash. And I like how this one turned out. Though I was exposed well enough for the selfie thanks to the flash again, the background was almost completely black. I honestly thought the day was bright enough to expose the photos better while using indoor mode. but I found the camera just needs even more light than I expected. After learning more of the limitations of the flash and the lighting needed, I went back out and took 2 more photos of a parasitic flower that I really like. It was a brighter day, though I was still in cover of the trees, so both of these were shot using high key mode again, and they turned out quite nicely in my opinion. The last photo had to be of my cat, so I could try to redeem myself. This time he was more directly lit by the same window, with a closer, brighter background. High key mode was used again, which really helped this time around, and the photo came out quite a bit better. I did also use the close-up lens, though I probably shouldn't have, as I kept missing the focus. After taking this photo, I learned that the close-up lens not only brings the focal point closer, it also captures a slightly wider field of view, something to keep in mind when framing through the viewfinder. Fun little fact, you can reuse the film pack to store the film and act like a small frame, simply by tearing off the cover and reinserting the pictures. In case anybody's wondering, this is how I'm getting them onto my computer. I'm literally just taking a picture of them. This is just my first video with the Fujifilm Instax Mini 9, and while I still have a lot to learn, I do plan on making more videos on this camera. Some of the lessons that I learned in making this video are you might need more light than you think with this camera. It really is meant more for subjects to be close and lit with the flash. The close-up lens also isn't great in my opinion, and I probably won't use it too often, if at all again. Lastly, just have fun with it. Don't care so much about getting the perfect results and enjoy the photos as they come out. If you want a perfect picture, then I suggest using a fancy modern digital camera, but that's not what this camera is about. While I definitely need to practice more with my Instax, it was something enjoyable, and I plan on trying a few different things with it. I will be making more Instax videos in the future as well. But let me know in the comments what kind of photos that you'd like to see me use a pack of film for, and I might make a video about it. Hope you enjoyed the photos, and maybe found this video helpful in one way or another. But until next time, thanks for watching.